Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Words I Choose to Live By. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by my co-host Tina Siemens. So glad you guys could join us on the simulcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X. Going to bring in our friends over on IG, so they can be part of our conversation. And last but certainly not least, going to connect with our friends over on Amazon Live. Have a great message as we're beginning week number 3 of 2026. It's a message I think will help all of us to understand not only what we can do, but also the power that each of us have to be able to make a difference for sure. For those of you who are joining us on Amazon, welcome. I'm going to type you guys a welcome message over there. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button if you're new, either here in this corner or down below. You also will see my book, Words I Choose to Live By, as well as Tina's book there as well. You can get her book, Post Oak, Seminole, Some People Never Give Up, as well as a little sentence that could. But Tina, how you doing?
I am blessed. It's a great day. Great start
Yeah.
of the week.
Yeah. Look, you and I literally just saw each other not even an hour
Yeah,
for
we
another.
can just continue the conversation we had
r-
then.
right,
It goes
right,
well into it.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny. I think Tina, as you and I were talking, I think that this message today is so
Mhm.
important for us because it's hard to believe this week will be our halfway mark of the first month of 2026, which
Yeah,
is crazy to think about.
yeah.
But it really does go to show how so much can happen in one day. Now, for those
Mhm.
who are joining us to have your copy of my book, we're in week number 3, and that is making your time here count is the message found on page number 7. And this is what it says: ready to make this week better than last week? It all begins in the mind. When you begin your day, make a conscious decision that you are going to think differently, speak differently, and act differently than before. You have the power to influence what happens over the next 24 hours. All you have to do is take control of it. And Tina, for me, this message is so important because I think so many times, and I've heard people say, and maybe you have as well, maybe the year didn't start off the way that they wanted it to, and already they're saying, "Okay, this is not going to be my year."
Yeah,
And I'm thinking, we're only a couple weeks in.
yeah, yeah.
you know,
So true.
sure, we may have had a bad moment,
Mhm.
maybe even had a bad day, but
Yeah.
it doesn't discount what is possible starting today. So for myself, this is such a great reminder that, you know what, regardless of what happened yesterday, I tell people I start every day at zero.
Mm.
If God allows me to wake up, I see that as a restart automatically, regardless of
Yes.
what happened yesterday, good or bad, actually.
Yeah.
I have the opportunity today to do something special and to make today count. So, Tina, I
Mhm.
want to ask you that question that as the message starts off, what helps you to have the mindset that you're going to make today better than yesterday?
It is exactly what you said. For us to have that mindset, even though the first thing that happens is that 6 inch game, the 6 inches between my two ears.
Mhm,
It all starts with the thought process.
mhm,
If the little train kids movie that used to be out, I think I can, I think I can. Well,
mhm,
that is the possibilities. If you think you can, you will. But
mhm.
if you think you won't, you will not.
Yeah,
You will go without. And so it starts with the mind, and then comes the plan of execution. And even with the execution, um, planning and scheduling, things might go wrong. But again, the mindset has to be, I will compromise and make the best of every situation.
Yeah, such a great point. Cayman Kelly, hello to you over there on IG. Glad to be to see you. The Real Lady Extreme, Nicole, hello to you. Good to see you over there as well. See you guys over there on YouTube as well. You guys have any questions or comments? Make sure you guys put those in the chat as well. And Tina, you're so right. I think the other thing that I mentioned, and it goes to what you said about the mindset. I say in that same message, when you begin your day, make a conscious decision that you're
Yes.
going to think differently, speak differently, and act differently than before. And I think for a lot of people, that is difficult because
Mm.
it's so easy to react to everything, right? And that's where people kind of begin their day is
Yeah,
reacting to everything. But instead of realizing that each of us have an opportunity to make the difference ourselves, we can't change other people, but we
exactly.
can change the way we speak about things. and
Yes.
we respond to things. That's not always an easy thing, Tina, but what helps you to do that, to make that conscious decision that you're going to think and speak and act differently?
I think it's so important that, and I always approach it with my mom's 4 pillars: love each other, forgive
Mm,
each other, let's pray about it, and never give up. It is these pillars. If you have them set as your guidepost, then you will be able to make that choice easier.
mm,
Will it always be executed exactly in the way that you hoped or wished? No, but having the goals set in place, the the vision cast in the future, that will help you make that, even if it's unraveling at a certain point, but you'll be able to come back to the post that you set. And that is the key thing: doing things out of love,
mm,
out of patience. Then you will be able to regroup and not be completely knocked off kilter, so to speak,
mm.
but get back to center. And everyone's following you. Google Maps nowadays, if you want to look for anything, then it has that little button on the left hand corner. It says recenter. And
Mm,
that's what we often have to do in life. We
yeah.
have to recenter. Like, you're zoomed in. Where am I going this very moment? But if you recenter, then it gives you the bigger picture that allows you to see, this is where I'm going. If I turned off the wrong exit, there's another chance to get back on the freeway and go to your goal. And that's
Mhm,
what I do. And that
mhm.
helps me to just stay anchored.
Love that. Love that. Nicole says recenter is a good focus. I love that. I love that's a great analogy, Tina. Hey, Wendy, good to be able to see you over there on YouTube. Glad you could be able to join us as well. Let me reset real quick. I'm going to say for those of you joining us, hey, Mel, good to be able to see you over there on Amazon. Mel, thank you so much for the follow over there. And you guys notice I have um, Tina's book, Post Oak, highlighted there on the Amazon side. So as she was talking there, so you guys can make sure to get her latest book. Her other books are also there on Amazon too. You all can get her book, Seminole, Some People Never Give Up. Can highlight it for you guys over there too. And then The Little Sandals That Could is her other book you can get here on Amazon. But we're talking about week number 3 in my book, Words I Choose to Live By, here on Amazon. And the message is making your time here count. Hello to you, MB. Good to be able to see you as well. Glad you could join us over there on Facebook. So the other thing that I mentioned in this message, Tina, is another great reminder for all of us. And it is, you have the power to influence what happens over the next 24 hours. All you have to do is take control of it. Now, I want to say that even though I say this in this message, there are some things that are outside of our control.
Yes.
There are some things we can't do anything about.
Yeah.
And we have to be honest about that. But
Yes.
the things that we can do something about, that's what I'm talking about in this part of the message, that you do have the power based on the rest of the message to influence the way you think, to influence the way that you speak, and the way that you tend to respond to things. But
Yeah.
you have to take that control. And what I hope people take away from that part, Tina, is to realize that we can't blame everybody else for us having a bad day.
Mhm.
How did you respond to a bad moment that may have happened? How did you respond to a disappointment? How do you respond to someone maybe being unkind? That
Yeah.
is inside of your control. And it's so important for us to realize that. Tina, what helps you to take control of what happens throughout your day and not to allow what other people do to deter you or to stop you?
Well, it takes me back to when my our sons were younger.
Hmm.
When so often as parents, they get the advice, count to 10 before you react.
Mm,
And reactions is so often impulsive. And our words that we speak, once they're out there, once they're out in the universe, we can never get those words back. And
yeah.
in a moment of heated conversation, or somebody cutting you off or taking your parking spot, or it can be the minutest things that can trigger us. And if
Mm,
we realize those triggers, then we can be prepared to not overact. And so for me is not immediately letting my words go off, because that is often then we have to do damage control, and
Yeah.
that is a lot harder than if I would take a millisecond and say, how do I want to react? And so for us to not react, but be patient and just take a moment, I think will has saved me many a times. And I think anybody that is on the show or will be listening would be able to identify with that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Nicole says this is so encouraging and needed, so everyone would know to keep going. That is so true. I appreciate that, Nicole. That's the whole purpose of why Tina and I do the show, because I think all of us need the encouragement, and I think all of us need to remember, as the title of my book says, it's a choice.
Absolutely.
Again, we all choose how we choose to respond to things. No one is making us make that choice. We have to make that choice. So that's why it's so important for us to realize that this day is a brand new beginning, and not to allow anyone or anything to disrupt your peace and to keep you from making the most of this day. That's my message to our audience, Tina. What would you say to them about the importance of making this day count and taking control of it?
Forgive yourself if you did not do it right yesterday. Forgive yourself for it, and then keep going for today, because perseverance is key to anything that we do. We may not get it right on the first try, but grace is there, and then we can have another chance. So for me, just knowing that I'm not judged today by the decisions I made yesterday, if I dealt with them. Now, there is those situations where if you didn't deal with yesterday's, it is baggage that will follow you, but we don't need to. Stop, apologize, and say, I'm sorry. So often, I think if people see me apologize, they will think she is humble enough to say that, and then apologies so much granted so much easier than if you say, no, that was your fault, like putting the blame on somebody else. So for us to keep going, to persevere through, we need to forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we have happened to make yesterday, and ask for that. Be humble enough to ask for forgiveness if I've made a mistake.
Love that. Hello to you, Chris, over on Facebook. Oh, he says, "Good morning, Miss Tina. I hope you are having a good morning. Big
But
fan."
yeah,
Oh,
thank
thank you so
you.
much, Chris, for joining us. It's a great reminder for all of us here. And again, I hope our audience takes this message to heart, Tina, as they're beginning their week and their day. Because again, it's so easy for us to give up that control of our happiness and give up the ability to be able to make today the best it can. But that's why I hope this reminder of making your time here count is really something that people think about. And I want to just reiterate that last point again. You have the power to influence what happens over the next 24 hours. All you have to do is take control of it. So that's my hope for all of you, that you'll be able to do that, to not let anyone else keep you from the greatness, like we talked about last week, that is yours. Show that greatness. And regardless of what comes your way, make the choice that you're going to make the best of it. So again, everyone, week number 3 from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Of course, you can get your copy here on Amazon. Tina, great message today. Let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you?
I would love to hear from you. And if you have any thoughts or let us know. Let us be that encouragement to you, and you go be that encouragement to others. You can stay connected with me through my almost done new website, heritagebytina.com. Looking forward to hearing from you. heritagebytina.com.
Love that. Tina, congratulations to you again. Thank you so much for another great show. And we thank your audience for tuning in to watching Words I Choose to Live By. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.